Hi everyone, I'm Mark Thompson with the Royal Report, the weekly highlight show for the Reading Royals, the ECHL affiliate of the Toronto Maple Leafs and Toronto Marlies, as well as the Boston Bruins. Now, I'm not saying that Royals fans aren't proud of their team, but after last Sunday's 7-2 debacle against the Florida Everblades, some of the fans might have been thinking about donning their Halloween costumes a little bit early this year to keep their identity, how shall we say, under wraps. Now, admittedly, fans, things aren't perfect, but I don't think we're quite at the paper bag stage yet.
In fact, on Thursday night against the South Carolina Stingrays, fans were all too happy to share their identity and their glee with the Royals 37 seconds into the second period when Casey Haynes deftly won an offensive zone faceoff to Rob Quitt at the left point and then deflected Quitt's shot between the legs of Stingray goaltender Philip Grubauer to give the Royals something they hadn't experienced in quite a while, a 5-on-5 goal and an early lead. But unfortunately on this night, that would be the team's only lead and only goal, as a better defensive effort by the Royals didn't translate into more offensive production, and it seemed that every defensive miscue by Reading resulted in offensive tater for the Stingrays. Starting with Danik Paquette, who won the battle for a rebound after a power move on the left wing side to tie it at 1 about 5 minutes into the second period. Then late in the second period, South Carolina got what proved to be the game winner when Trevor Campbell exploded by a Reading defender on the left side, feigned as if he intended to shoot, but instead hit David DeCastroza coming down the middle for an easy tap. The Stingrays added a couple more in the third, including a power play goal by Jerry Palestroni from in tight, and another one from Danik Paquette, who's fast moving up the power rankings in all-time Royal killers. But the real killer in this one? Well, that proved to be a glaring shortage of offensive production.
So going into Friday night's game in Trenton, the Royals offense was, how shall we say, sputtering at best. The team had only scored a total of 12 goals in the first 5 games, putting us in dire need of the one thing that every struggling offense needs, a struggling defense to play against.
And the Trenton Titans certainly fit that bill, as entering Friday night's game, the Titans had the worst defense in the league. The Royals took advantage of Trenton's defensive woes early in the first when Olivier Labelle cranked one up from the top of the right circle and blew it through goaltender Brad Phillips to stake the Royals to an early 1-0 lead. Then it was Marvin Degon's turn to rip one home after a beautiful pass from Dennis McCauley set him up for a rocket from the left point, giving the Royals a 2-0 lead after 1. But then came the second. The second. We've had our issues with the middle child before. 2 years ago, to be exact, the Royals were collectively a -17 in the second frame. And this year, and certainly on this night, things weren't much better as the Titans rang off 3 in a row. The first by the ultimate Royal killer, Randy Rowe, followed by a rebound goal for Adam Presniuk and a power play rocket by Andy Bombach. But the good thing about the second period is that it's followed by the third. And in this third, the Royals offense, or should I say defense men, actually went to work. First it was Denny Urban with his first of the season when he snuck down the right wing side and tried to feather a pass on the back door, only to have it ricochet in the net for a game-tying power play goal. Then it was Ray Macias making the Bobby Orr power move to the top of the crease and simply refusing to be denied entry. And he wasn't, punching it home for the 4-3 lead, 13:05 into the third. 13 seconds after that, it was Olivier Labelle again, this time off the top of the left circle with a blast that snuck through to give the Royals a 2-goal cushion. And that was a good thing because the Royals needed it. As you guessed it, Randy Rowe went Juan Stenerud and soccer-styled one in with 5:50 left in regulation to make it 5-4 Reading. But from that point forward, goaltender Joe Palmer did what he needed to do to make the team record 10th career game-winning goal by Olivier Labelle stand up and keep the Royals' record on the road unblemished in regulation.
All right, so let me see if I've got this right. In the past couple of months here in the Northeast, we've had stifling heat, a hurricane, some pretty decent floods, and an earthquake. I think the only thing we're missing at this point are the locusts. No, wait a second, I think I've forgotten something. What about the once-in-a-lifetime 10-inch freak snowstorm in a late October day?
Leave it to Larry Corvo. He's always got to have the drama. So it surprised just about no one that on the night when the Royals organization intended to retire Corville's legendary number 22, the Halloween ghosts in the Sovereign Center Or more likely, the wicked noista, as our Boston boys like to say, had the lights flickering on and off inside the Sovereign Center and required that the game be postponed from Saturday night until Sunday afternoon when the power was restored. Well, the power to everything but the Royals offense, that is. So it was a good thing that we had the Corville number retirement ceremony to give the fans something to stand and cheer about. Now if we just could have had one of those goals, like the one Corville scored on the day we inducted him into the Reading Eagle Wall of Honor. Instead, all of the goals that counted in this one were scored by the Gwinnett Gladiators. A first period redirect by Nikita Kazierski and a third period breakaway for Andy Brandt. In between, those same ghosts that were flickering the lights on Saturday night at the Sovereign Center must have been working their mischief in other ways, because every time we got a chance, the puck would just disappear, usually into the goaltending equipment of Gwinnett's Jeff Giakaitis. All of them except one, that is, which got by Giakaitis, but there was something else in his equipment on that one, Matt Shepke to be exact. So that goal was waved off, and the trick was on the Royals, as Giakaitis had the treat of the 30th shutout against the Royals in team history.
All right, so I think we can add another thing to our personal disaster diaries, the scoring drought. Not sure what's next, but I think the smart money's on mudslides. So maybe it's a good thing that the Royals get out on the road, as they will for the next 5, as they try to stay ahead of the disasters and keep going what right now is an unbeaten in regulation record out on the road. The next 3 are all down south. We've got Greenville on Friday night, then the Gwinnett Gladiators on Saturday, and then we're in Charleston, South Carolina on Sunday again. Until then, stay safe, everybody. This has been Mark Thompson with your Royal Report.